black supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about what the shutdown of Sara, Suten, Seti, and Tommy Sotomayor's YouTube page represents, what it reveals. And how it reveals white supremacy and how we're distracted by different views in our ideology. While our ideology may seem to be opposed at times, different YouTube speakers or black teachers or leaders or personalities within the conscious community or at the fringes of the conscious community, while it may seem that their ideas oppose, they have a common enemy. They seem to be on opposite sides, but they both being attacked by the same thing. The same white supremacist mechanism has power over their fate and their destiny as a YouTuber. Now, Sara, Suten, Seti's YouTube page was shut down. That's it, gone. Tommy Sotomayor ran off of YouTube. Both of them gone. Now look at the irony of this. Sara, Suten, Seti talks about the black woman being God, but his YouTube page got shut down. Now we know he tries to expose the different religions and the Masons and different Islamic groups, but he ultimately teaches that the black woman is God. They shut down his page. Tommy Sotomayor degrades the black woman, exposes the black woman for her faults, attacks the black woman, defames the black woman. Some would say even disrespect the black woman on YouTube, but his page got shut down. But what's crazy is both of their pages got shut down by the same entity, YouTube. Now some people say, well, people flagged their video and didn't like them. You could flag somebody's video, but it's YouTube, it's the white supremacists at YouTube and the white supremacy mechanisms at YouTube, the white supremacy censorship at YouTube that determines whether your content was appropriate or not. So anybody can hate your videos, but it's YouTube that's going to determine if they're going to let you live or not on YouTube. Ain't the black woman. It's not the black Islamic groups or people in the NOI or Moors that flagged Seti's page or whoever did it, because I don't want to make any accusations or allegations of who did it, because I don't know who did it. But the power wasn't ultimately in their hand, because neither one of these entities really control YouTube. They don't control it. The advertisement companies, the elite groups control YouTube. It's ultimately a vehicle for white supremacy. So while they're both on two ends of the spectrum, opposite ends of the spectrum, one saying the black woman is God, one saying the opposite, they both have the same enemy. We all have enemies, but the ultimate enemy is the one that could stop you, that could censor you. And who has that power? And while we wasting our time speaking up for the black woman being God, or speaking against the black woman, who is the real enemy? What is the common denominator that's censoring the black man today? Who's censoring the black man? Who's controlling the speech? Who's limiting the black man? Who's obstructing the justice of the black man's voice? It ain't the black woman. It ain't necessarily the Muslims or the Muslim groups or the Masons or people that don't agree with Sara, Suten, Seti. It's the white supremacy entity we call YouTube. It's not YouTube if you black. It's not your tube. It's you censor tube. That's what they should call that shit. It's you will be stopped tube. You are limited tube. The lady just realized that when she went up into the YouTube building and started shooting up people in California at the YouTube headquarters. She realized that she was being censored and they was playing with her money, and that her destiny and her business and her expression was in the hands of some people that was fucking with her, and it pissed her off and she got mad, and she went and dealt with the enemies. She ain't blaming on the black woman. She didn't blame it on the Islamic groups and the Masons. She went directly to the enemy with her gun and said, you know what, if you're going to try to stop me, God damn it, I'm going to stop some of y'all. So she got out her gun, her handgun, and went up in the office building, and she popped 4 of them, and then took her own life like a true samurai, like a true ninja, because she knew who the enemy was. She didn't just blame the people who flagged her or the people who like or dislike her content, because those are not relevant. The people who control the platform, the people who control the venue, that's the enemy. And we go against each other all the time. We're going back and forth, arguing with each other, disagreeing with each other. This leader versus that leader, this teacher versus that leader. But the only one stopping the growth of a message that could transform the consciousness of the people and enlighten the masses of the people, the only one that is stopping that is YouTube. White supremacy, he who controls the platform. The enemy's web, the enemy's internet. The white man will put the brakes on your ass. So just look at the irony of this. That's why I got them on here together. Opposite message, same attack of the black man. And these black men would argue with each other. They would be at it against each other, not seeing the common enemy is he who seeks to shut up the black man. He who seeks to stomp out the voice of the black man. And now they can just do it in the cyber world, but they want to do it in reality, like they was doing it during Jim Crow, like they was doing it before we had the so-called freedom of speech. They want to stomp out our voice, and since they can't just remove your rights, because we're under the illusion of being in freedom in this country, they can't remove your right to free speech. Now they can just use you. They can censor you in the cyber world. They can shut up your voice that they don't agree with, or you becoming too powerful. And some of these entities they let to grow so powerful. When I look at Tommy Sotomayor, I believe they let him grow that powerful. His message has been disrespectful. It's been condescending. It's been an attack on a black woman. It's been totally disrespectful to the black woman. Totally highlighting and magnifying the negatives versus the positives in the black woman. But they allowed him to do that because they was making money off of it. And he was working for YouTube. Even though he was tearing down his own people, he really was working for YouTube because they was making money off of it. They was getting the advertisements, and he kept YouTube alive. And when they couldn't use his ass no more, they ran his ass up off of YouTube because they couldn't use him no more. But they let him get that far with that message that he had that was an attack on a black woman. They allowed him to grow that to that degree. They allowed him. So he was being used. He was by the enemy, but he thought you being used by the enemy, that you're on the side of the enemy, or the enemy supports you. No, the enemy has an agenda for you, and when he can't use you anymore, he will dispose of you like a dirty tampon. And that's what happened with Tommy Sotomayor. Thousands of views, letting him have thousands of channels after being flagged by so many people. They allowed him to do that. No matter how much the people didn't like him, they allowed Tommy to do that. If flagging would have stopped Tommy, he would have been stopped. And he would have no longer been able to open up a new page. But somebody allowed him to do it. But that person who allowed you to do it, that is not the black woman. White supremacy YouTube, when they who allow you to do it don't want you to do it no more, they can shut your ass down just like that. And they don't care whether you say the black woman is God. They don't care whether you hate the black woman. Just because you're the black man raising up with a powerful voice, you is an equal and equivalent threat as the person on the opposite end of a spectrum with a different view. Matter of fact, the elite fears anyone with an alternative message that's rising up and gaining power, no matter what the alternative message is that it is, because they want to maintain the construct, the consistency of the construct with the way that it already exists. So anybody coming with a powerful alternative message will be a threat to them. Which is why they were censoring the old girl that had to run up in the YouTube office and pop them, because she had an alternative message talking about being against animal cruelty and killing the animals. She had an alternative message. And they want to censor her. So it doesn't matter who you are. If your message is alternative and you're gaining power outside of the construct of the matrix, they got a problem with you ultimately. And they'll let you rise high enough just to see who you are. and then they'll shut your ass down. Some of us, they won't even let us rise. Sara Suten Seti with thousands of subscribers. And Sotomayor with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Some of us, they won't even let us get 5,000 subscribers before they shut down our goddamn page. Because it's so fucking radical. So they know who they can use, and goddamn it, they know who they can abuse. But I just want you to see this, how we at war with one another. But our ultimate enemy plays with us like puppets and shuts us down whenever he feels like it or when he sees fit. This King Noble black supremacy.